welcome to episode 29 of Let's Hear It. Today's guest is Leslie Mendelson. She's a great singer-songwriter based in Brooklyn. She has a new album out called If You Can't Say Anything Nice. She also has a single, a cover of a John Martin song called Head and Heart that just came out a couple days ago. She is going to show us a 1970s Yamaha FG355 acoustic guitar. Let's say hello to Leslie Mendelson. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm living the dream.
We all are. We're all living the dream.
This is what I always imagine life like. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm here in my little apartment. I'm in Bed-Stuy.
Cool. I have a question for you. Do you know what the FG in the Yamaha FG355 stands for?
No.
It stands for folk guitar.
Come on. That's so obvious.
That's
great.
Well, the little bit I know about Yamaha guitars is that they started making guitars around 1940. But Yamaha had been a company since the late 1800s in Japan. And then after the Beatles and Bob Dylan, they introduced folk guitars in the mid-60s. And that's what you have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this little guitar. I actually needed a guitar. And Steve McEwen, my co-writer, he had stashed this guitar, like he didn't have any room for it, and I was playing another guitar at the time. I wasn't in love with it. I think it was a Gibson acoustic. I forget the model number. I should know what show I'm on. I apologize. But I wound up selling that one, and I was playing piano at the time, so I didn't really have a guitar, need a guitar. And then I remember like moving some stuff around. I'm like, this guitar is just sitting here. I'm like, I'm just going to use this one. And I actually put like a Fishman pickup in it, and I've been using it for the last 8 years. I actually just changed my strings, not for the first time, but like close to it. I never change my strings. I'm horrible at it. I like the way it sounds when it's dead too, but I just put some Martin strings on there, and so it's really nice. And yeah, I think this is a 1977, and I kind of own it now. Well, I feel like I put pickups in it. It's mine. He'll beg to differ, but we'll see.
Well, what do they say? Possession is 9/10 of the law? 8/10?
Yes.
9/10?
Be like, thanks. Oh, it's all right.
He's not going to reclaim it anytime soon. He's got other guitars.
Well, it's just like, it was just sitting around. I'm like, I feel bad for, a guitar, especially if someone needs one. I'm like, I'll play this one. Yeah, I sold my Gibson to a friend. I don't know, just certain guitars. I bought it and I never felt good playing it. But my friend who I sold it to loves it. So it feels like that's good.
Yeah. That's the way it is sometimes. You could get a really expensive guitar and you're excited about it and you pick it up and you're like, And then sometimes you have a little clunker guitar that you don't even touch for a while and you pick it up and it's good. So I think it's just a personal preference. And it doesn't, like that guitar you have there is not an expensive guitar. I think those generally sell for $400, $500, $600.
But it sounds really pretty. It's got a lovely deep resonance to it. I love the darkness of it. And before I was playing, and I can't remember the name of them, but they're tiny guitars, like the parlor style guitars. I was playing that for a little while. I put a pickup in that, and it was just this. I think it was like $200, and I toured all over England with that one, and I toured I loved it. It just sounded good. It was, it after about 4 or 5 years, I couldn't play it anymore. It was like just breaking and falling apart. But because I also beat the shit out of it. But it was that was like a little gem I had. I'll try to remember the name of it.
Cool. Well, that's the thing. I've heard you play that guitar that you're about to give us an example of, and it always sounds great, and it sounds in tune and intonated properly a lot of the time.
I tuned for you, Gary.
What?
I tuned.
You tuned for me.
I tuned up for you.
That's very exciting. All right, well...
Only the best for you.
Well, play a little something. Let's hear what it sounds like. You can play a song, or you could just give us some examples, or whatever you feel like.
What? Well, so the song Head and Heart that John Martin cover I just did is off of a collection of a few songs I did over the summer, off an acoustic record called In the Meantime. I made it just it was kind of the record I made in April. If you can't say anything nice, I didn't make it in April. I meant the record that we released in April. Is kind of a rock record, and it had a lot of kind of grit and guts to it. And then obviously there was no tour to show off the songs with a band or even a 3-piece or just something. I was we're all relegated to doing live streams from our bedroom at some point in April, May, and things are opening up now. But around that time I started rethinking the songs because I couldn't do them with the electric guitars and the whole thing, so kind of rethought, and that was pretty much the genesis of how that little the song collection came about. So I'm gonna sing a song from that little EP In the Meantime, and this is one of the songs off of If You Can't Say Anything Nice, but done acoustically. It's called Lay It All on Me. Yeah, here we go. This is one of those songs without an intro. I have 2 of them on the record. Here we go. I don't wanna shut you out. I only wanna let you in. I don't wanna get you down. I only wanna see you in. And I don't wanna hang you up. And I don't wanna watch you fall. So lay it all on me. On me. Lay it all on me. On me.
I like that, and I was thinking while you were playing that you're a classic singer-songwriter kind of style, harkens back to the 70s, and somehow you've found yourself not only opening for The Who, but you've opened for Jackson Browne, and you've duetted with Jackson Browne, and even have a beautiful song that came out last year called Human Touch that you did with Jackson Browne. How did you connect with those people?
Well, the Who was back in 2012. I had met Robert Rosenberg and Bill Kerbishley through Steve McEwen. He was managed by them he was signed to their label. I don't know, a few years before that. Anyway, so I was introduced to them. They really liked what I was doing. They're like, why don't you come over to England? And I was like, yes, come live in London. How glamorous. And I mean, it wasn't that glamorous, but it was very cool. And I lived there for about 2-3 years. I did some touring. I didn't work with The Who back then, but I was introduced to Roger and actually sang some vocals on something. And I think I co-wrote a song. We were demoing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, but I was working with them, and then I moved back to the States, but we'd always kept in touch. And then when Roger went out and did a solo tour about 2 years ago, they invited me to open, because it was basically the Who band, but Roger without Pete. But they did a lot of, Who songs, and it was a great show. And I did about 3 tours, just Steve and I opening our acoustic thing. And then when they came to New York to do the Garden, Robert called me up. He's like, are you free May 19th? You want to come open for the Who at Madison Square Garden? I'm like, are you sure? Like I said, I don't understand the question. I'm like, I understood like the theaters and stuff and having an acoustic act open up in theaters, but like it just didn't make any sense in my mind. I'm like, the garden, just me on acoustic guitar. And I'm like, of course I said yes, but I was like, how is this gonna work? But it worked. It was so much fun. And the first time, I mean, we played acoustic guitars, and they invited me back to do the September gig, and I brought my keyboard for that one. I think you were there for that one.
I was lucky enough to see that, and you were nice enough to give me tickets, which I really appreciated. You played that very guitar, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
See, there you go. A $400 Yamaha guitar taking the stage at Madison Square Garden. You don't need to have a $20,000 guitar.
You could bring anything on stage with you.
You can. And what about Jackson Browne? You've done some great stuff with him.
Yeah, that was a really good summer last year. I had like the Who as bookends, May and September, and then in between that, so Jackson, Steve, and I wrote A Human Touch probably during the winter, and then it came out in the spring. In the movie 5B, which was, so I had met Paul Haggis at Paul Haggis is the director who did 5B, and he came up to me after a set. I was doing a house party in Red Hook in Brooklyn, and he came up to me after the set was over, and he's like, I really loved your sound, I loved your vibe. I'm looking for an original song for my documentary. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, sure. Oh, and then he was just like, I'm also friends with Jackson Browne. I'm trying to get him involved. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, okay, call me. It just felt so Hollywood. I'm like, whatever. But he did. He called and said, we got the budget, we got the approval. Why don't you guys, start and, see what you come up with. And then, we started talking to Jackson, and then we wound up getting together in New York and finishing the song, and that was so cool. Just even meeting him. I remember we were it was around Christmas time, and Steve had gotten us a room at Sony in Midtown, and I see Jackson coming up the elevator. I was like, man, I just like kind of ran up to him and hugged him. I was just like, hi. And he was so nice. I mean, we had already had some phone and email exchanges, so he was already cool. And then we sit down, and he just sits down at the piano and just plays a chord, and I'm like, that's Jackson Browne. It's just like amazing how he sounds like himself.
Yeah.
So that was really great to work on. And then we finished it up at his studio in Santa Monica with Greg Leese playing the lead, which is like so pretty. And Jay Belrose and Jen Condos as the rhythm section. And Patrick Warren did some stuff. He's just a sound master. And that was it. And so the song came out. The film is about the beginning of the AIDS epidemic in San Francisco, in the first hospital, San Francisco General. And really it's about the nurses who, all these patients were coming in. Nobody knew anything about the disease in the early 80s. And these doctors and nurses were so brave. They took off their hazmat suits and gave these people love. And that's really the heart of the movie. So, and just around that time, he was doing his run at the Beacon. So he asked me to come and sit in on the song, and that sit-in turned into the week, and then the week turned into the rest of the summer of the tour. So that was cool.
Those are great victories for a girl from Brooklyn with a guitar, with a $400 acoustic guitar. Amazing.
A girl from Long Island.
A girl from Long Island.
Get down to brass tacks. I actually never moved. I'm still on Long Island.
Wow.
We're having coffee talk.
Well, we'll post a link to it because I love that Jackson Browne song so much, Human Touch.
Yeah, we did a video too.
I'll post the link to that, and also to Head and Heart. Did you know that John Martin made his first solo album at age 18?
No.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You should check it out. You played about half of a song. Play, just noodle around a little bit on the guitar so we can have a little more.
So I'm tuned. So the actual tuning of Head and Heart is Bad Gad, but I tune up a half a step, so it's Kasujifit. I don't know what that would be.
Wait, the actual tuning is Bad Gad or Dad Gad?
B, drop B.
Really? He goes that low?
So that's why this is like, but I tune it up. This is actually C.
Yeah.
And then everything's up a half a step.
All right, off you go.
This is Head and Heart. There's just no way to say how much I love you. You never made me cry, and that's just fine. I only got my fears to put above you. You know we all get scared from time to time. Love you from my head and heart. Love you from the place it starts. Love you with my head and heart. Love me like a child.
Well, that's lovely. A nice little teaser for the Spotify link I'll post so people could hear the whole song. Yeah, that's he really wrote some beautiful.
I could play this tuning all day. And this and we do a Joni Mitchell song on the little EP as well, and she's got a great tuning. It's not quite Dad Gad either, but it's close. And there's just I love her tunings, and the way she approaches chords is just so brilliant. So we do People's Parties off Court and Spark. We, as in me, it's actually solo. It's like the royal we.
When is this covers record coming out?
Well, it was out on Bandcamp. We were doing it we were selling it on Bandcamp, and now we're just starting to stream songs. So right now, Head and Heart is available, but we're going to release more. That's the Royal Potato Family.
The Royal Potato Family. What a name for a record label.
The best.
Run by a wonderful man, our friend Kevin
Calabro.
Yes. He's a very good dude. All right, well, thanks, Leslie. Thanks for showing us that Yamaha
fun.
Guitar. It's nice to see you. Nice to hear you play.
Nice to see you. Hope to see you soon.
I really hope so.
Okay.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Well, there you go. That's episode number 29, Leslie Mendelson. Thank you, Leslie. I love that little Yamaha guitar, and it's great hearing you sing. Check back in a couple days for the next episode of Let's Hear It. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. See you soon.